Yo, what's up guys? Remember the last video I uploaded about how this new trick will change speedrunning in Tears of the Kingdom forever? Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely introduces quite a bit of mashing to the game. I personally made a speedrun route for all shrines, beating all shrines as quickly as possible, which probably included around 10,000 pocket rocket or rocket boarding inputs. That's what the community decided to mainly name this trick. And I did it too much. I literally hurt my hand from doing so. I strained my wrist, but I basically made it so that I completely took my mind off the game and kind of just disappeared for 3 weeks and focused on recovering. Playing some other games slowly again. I don't really need this wrist case anymore. I kind of just use it now as like a dramatic effect, but it definitely hurt. It was annoying, and I feel better now. I'm slowly gonna get back into it, but this allows me to do something that I usually don't get to do anymore, which is reacting to a Tears of the Kingdom any % speedrun. I missed quite a bit because I completely took my mind off the game, and I know a bunch of different things changed, and usually I was following the speedrun all the time. I even contributed to the route by finding new things, timing stuff, adding new things to the route. But being gone completely for 3 weeks basically allows me, or basically almost a month actually, allows me to kind of like look into it from a fresh perspective. What has changed? I heard a lot of things have changed. Apparently there's like some sort of intro glitch skip in the intro. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I just know that it exists because speedrunners have actually already decided to remove the intro, but now the intro is back again. I think it's just going to be interesting, especially if you also haven't seen a speedrun in a while, and I barely ever get to react to something like that anymore. So I'm excited. I'm going to be watching Player 5's world record, which is around 10 minutes faster than my last personal best. So a lot of things have changed. Let's get into the run. Alright, so here we are in Player 5's run.
Park
it's going to be very interesting for me to see specifically the early game. I'm going to try to not interrupt the man when I can, but yeah, so let's get into the intersection. This is what I'm most interested in, because, again, for context, in case if you missed it, there was a vote in the community to basically get rid of this intro entirely. Mainly because it was super annoying to reset to this to the 7-minute unskippable intro. And the community decided, okay, we're already climbing up. We're climbing onto a stalagmite, I think is what that's called. So this is... That was extremely fast, and we're out of bounds now. I have no idea how that clip worked. Okay, we're backflipping, doing those Mostor jump slashes to fly through this out of bounds section. I have never seen a clip like this. It looked like Player 5 literally just like climbed through the ceiling. And the crazy thing is, and this is obviously why this is saving time, you can skip those interactions with Zelda. You can skip those cutscenes. And I'm really surprised that this doesn't break the game. So I'm assuming he's just going to be basically walking through the out of bounds section to the first encounter with Ganon, which is extremely interesting to me. So obviously you're saving time here too by doing a little bit more of a direct path, but the fact... Damn. Oh no. That was awful actually. The fact that this doesn't break the game and that the cutscenes don't play is actually really surprising to me, because this game usually took so much attention to have things like this like not happen. But yeah, so the really unfortunate part is, I mean, it's both good and bad, right? Now we are forced to play the intro again, and it is actually more difficult. The problem is obviously this part, right? The problem was never the running around in the intro. The problem was always this part. This is like a 4-minute unskippable cutscene. Runners would even go as far as like taking a bathroom break here sometimes, because there's literally not much to do. You just sit here for 4 minutes, and as far as I know, there was already a difficult jump after this unskippable cutscene. As far as I know, this jump got even more difficult.
Like, really?
So the problem is going to be that any percent is going to be extremely frustrating to run, because it seems like you have to do this early game stuff here, right? These early game maneuvers, going out of bounds, and then getting to this cutscene here, 4-minute long cutscene. And then immediately afterwards, it seems like you're going to have to do another difficult jump, which means if you fail the difficult jump, the one That's after the intro. You're back at the beginning. You have to sit through this cutscene again. And now you actually have to play the intro. The skip part is invalid now because there's an actual time save in the intro. I wonder what's going to happen with this. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if in the future people decide that they're still going to skip the intro, even though there's an actual trick there now where you can save time. Not sure how it's going to go. But very interesting. So I am surprised how quickly people found an actual time save in this very like streamlined intro. I'm kind of trying to balance the audio here a little bit because I still want you to hear the game sound, but I don't want to constantly be... Wait, the player 5 Ganondorf roleplay there was actually kind of clean. I'm not gonna lie. He's got that down.
Hey, what's up, Makayu?
But yeah, we are gonna be watching this cutscene for a little bit longer. And that's the exact issue, right? Like, the issue was never walking around in the early game. The issue was this cutscene, and I don't think there's gonna be a way around that ever, unfortunately. In case if you're curious why, it's basically because the beginning section of the game is not on the same map as the real game. Like, it's on its own map. So even, I mean, you could see it. You could literally see it this time, right? When player 5 went out of bounds, so you could see that this doesn't play on the real game world map, so you can't escape it. The only way you load into the real... It's kind of like a shrine, you can think of it. The only way you can load into the real game world is by performing... well, by reaching this cutscene and then actually being grabbed by Raru, like here. Also, by the way, just in case, I think it's early enough now to talk about this. Still, if you haven't beaten Tears of the Kingdom, that absolutely massive, amazing game, get out of here right now. This is gonna be a speed run, which means this is gonna beat the game. So you're gonna see the final boss, etc. So yeah, just don't get spoiled. Just a final warning here. I know the game has been out for like over 2 months now, but still, it's a game that people will probably play for years. But that being said, we're finally at the end of this cutscene, and I already know what's coming next. So, if you watched my last Any Percent video, I talked back then about a route that goes and grabs the Zonai wings early on to perform some interesting movement tech. And I'm going to be able to explain it here in this run, as long as it's still in the game. I'm actually not sure about it.
Is there really?
Ascent first, few second, Ultra Hand last, it says on the splits. I'm kind of covering it, so that seems to be familiar. But basically, back when I was still playing the game, the way you would get up to these wings would essentially be by jumping up on those wheels on the right side. And I know people, and even me myself back then when I was playing the game, were messing around with a different jump, and I heard that people have actually found a way to make it somewhat consistent now. I have no idea if player 5 is going to be going for it here, but let's see. So, I'm going to be slashing through these wings, and it looks like he's going to go for it. Because the reason this is so fast... Okay, let's see. This seems to be some sort of setup. He's jump slashing, and immediately gets it first try. I tried this jump for like 3 hours trying to find it in the first place, and I couldn't get it to work, but the setup seems a little bit more intricate. But... you are up here right now. You're supposed to only be up here. On the right side, you can see the Nachoya shrine. Which is the recall shrine, where you're supposed to test your recall abilities. And you're supposed to be up here at the very end, right? But the reason that this jump is so much faster is because you can skip that initial interaction with Link's hand interacting with that like Zonai ring. I actually just realized that it's kind of like very sad and also funny in a way, but this is a game that's all about the hands, and it actively hurts people's hands. Unfortunately, running out of stamina there. Not a big deal though. This chest will actually refill your stamina, and this is where player 5 picks up those 3 wings. So this part is familiar to me again. After getting those wings, he's going to be diving down into the cutscene, the opening cutscene. And I wish I could say this is where we got a run going. I have the advantage here that I know that this is the world record, so I know that this run will have a happy ending. But the first 10 minutes, actually, let's say, yeah, 15 minutes is how much it takes to get to the Ascent shrine, apparently now, which is crazy. Like, 17 minutes used to be good when I played the game. I'm gonna continue to play the game now. once I'm fully recovered. But
The race is on. No way.
that's so scary, because if you mess up that jump, and player 5 obviously made it look easy,
use,
you're just done for. You have to do the intro out of bounds shenanigans again, and then watch the 4-minute cutscene again, and then repeat. And
Links, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I missed the name that player 5 gave a shout out there. But that's going to be extremely frustrating. There's going to be some streams where you're going to be stuck in that intro section, and only practice will really help with that one.
Try.
But looks like this run is going now.
Then I flipped the climb up and then ran out of stamina as well.
So now next up, unless things have changed, we're going to have to pick up the Pura Pet. The main reason we're going to have to pick up the Pura Pet is because everything below the Pura Pet area here will be kind of like blocked off. If you were to try to jump down there, you would just void out, similar to leaving the Great Plateau early in Breath of the Wild. You need to get this item. It is actually required.
Thank you for the good luck.
So a little bit more cutscenes here, and then the problem with this run
intro and
is, sorry to cut you off there, player 5. I just want to explain it real quick. The problem with this run at this point becomes that the next strategies are also extremely difficult. What the purpose of these early Zonai wings is essentially what is about to come up in this next section. We're going to be running from this ledge and spawning, and again, this is just my assumption. I'm ready to be proven wrong by some new movement tech. But at least what I think is going to happen is that player 5 is going to run towards this ledge and then drop a Zonai wing in front of him. The Zonai wing is going to start flying on its own. He's going to run on the wing like that, and this wing is going to fly all the way to the Temple of Time. And the cool thing is that, and this is made for a reason, this is for a reason, the game is basically coded in a way that those wings, they don't count as stable ground. Because otherwise, imagine, you could like stand on a wing, jump off, and the game would have to respawn you on a wing, constantly calculating where the wing is flying. So the last time that Link has touched basically stable ground was when he was back at the Pura Pet. So by riding all the way to the Temple of Time here and then interacting with the door, what this is going to do, it's going to unlock the shrines in the overworld. You can now enter these shrines. The cutscene itself is going to teleport player 5 a little bit behind himself onto this wing right here, so he still hasn't touched the ground. And in this next step, he's going to jump off the wing, dive all the way down. And this is going to make it so that the game will put Link to the last spot he's touched stable ground on, which just happens to be next to the Pura Pet. So not only could we use the wings to fly all the way here, which is faster than running, we also basically got some sort of free teleport, because obviously the teleport ability doesn't unlock until later into the game. And then, last but not least, we're going to be using another wing. And yes, people, I explained this in my Master Sword Explained speedrun video. People said, I bet Limcube unintentionally spawned 2 wings there and just said it's more consistent. No, it is actually more consistent to spawn 2 wings in the air for the flight over here towards the Ascent Shrine. And this is where another great time save from the wings comes in. Additionally, a great thing about going into the bottomless cave here is that there are some bomb flowers on this earlier version of the game, where this run is on currently version 1.0. Still is the fastest version to run the game on. On this version, you have access to the very powerful duplication glitch, where you can just shield jump and then basically drop your items, press Y and B at the same time, and they will duplicate. And that makes it so that picking up these bomb flowers early on gives you a huge arsenal of them. And if you guys have played the game or watched any speedruns before, bomb flowers, especially when fused to shields, are incredibly powerful. So here you actually need to do some precise climbing, otherwise you will die. Currently we are taking cold damage, and health will usually be at only half a heart at the end here, but player 5 uses some really nice climbing there to make sure to not run out of stamina and keep his ability to sprint up. And you can see it here, the health just depleted to half a heart. Now, it is actually a little bit scary though when you do enter this Ascent Shrine, because there is an enemy in the Ascent Shrine, and I will admit I have lost runs to that enemy. It can be incredibly scary because it likes to sometimes randomly snipe you. But that's it with the Ascent Shrine, and this is the point where I usually feel a little bit better.
To remember not having
about my
or,
runs
like, killing
because
one eyeball at a time.
at least the super difficult stuff is out of the way.
4-cycle demon dragon.
Now, there is something that I myself, little bit of a pat on the shoulder here. Some people like to call me the father figure of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom speedrun.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
So long.
Although I will say, credit where credit is due, Player 5 has learned the run from me, right? So I have met Player 5 in person a couple times, and it is confirmed he's learned the run from my tutorials. So, am I really the world record holder? You're gonna have to decide that for yourself, my friends. No, I'm obviously kidding. Player 5 is incredibly dedicated, super skilled, and just always super fun to watch. I will obviously link his stream and this video itself in the description, but you probably know him. I mean, at this point, you just know Player 5. He's like kind of like the actual Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom GOAT. But that being said, we're entering the Ascent Shrine right here, which is still boring, it seems, unless there's something new coming up right now. It's a cycle-based shrine, and yeah, Player 5 runs a big circle kind of around this guy, and this is the scary shot right there, right? If you ever get hit by that arrow, you're dead. And then back to the intro we go. But yeah, looks like there's not much new here. Player 5 doing some crouch sprinting there, which actually doesn't make a difference at all, because you're gonna have to wait on this platform here anyway for the cycle to finish. All that matters is that you basically ascend into that platform there as early as possible. But looking very good. I know this cutscene takes around 50 seconds.
Still ahead. Am I catching up at least?
This should be a 15-21 split or something. That's my guess, if I remember correctly. This is a super long cutscene at the end of the Ascent split. For some reason, they decided that this one is not skippable. Let's see. I'm interested myself. Am I correct here? 15-21 is my guess. Yeah. Also, this is actually something I caught. When you get those light blessings, you know how it does like this little jingle? It's like dun dun dun. And you know what's crazy is that's the theme from the depths. If you ever go to the depths, especially to like a light route, you hear that dun 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 dun.
I tried it for a little bit.
Which is so cool because you've probably noticed it yourself at this point. I mean, it's kind of impossible to not know at this point that these shrines are like essentially kind of like flower buds for the light roots, right? Like the light roots grow from the depths to the surface, resulting in a shrine appearing on the surface. At least that's somewhat the theory there, and that's why I think that's such a cool detail. You literally are receiving a light's blessing from the depths, which is just so cool. I mean, the theming in this game and symbolism is extremely strong.
Can you attach now? No,
don't
do it.
Looks like we are going to be having our first interaction with Rauru. It's similar to the old man in Breath of the Wild. Also, the language still seems to be in English here. Doesn't seem to make a difference. Some people at some point said French. Oh, the limb cube route is coming into play. And this is something that I added to the run. Scanning amiibos early on here to get a fleet lotus seed to then do some interesting routing around the ruby for the late game. So once again, I also... This was a clip that I posted in the Discord, duplicating some lotus seeds on this wing and riding towards the construct down here. Because if we were to go to fuse here right away, the problem is essentially that you will get the energy cell from the construct after doing the shrine, which takes like 27 seconds. By going to this dude, though, you can get the energy cell in like 10 seconds. So you save around 17 seconds after the fuse shrine by going this route. And then additionally, you can scan some amiibo here, especially these Fleet Lotus Seed amiibo. Or it's not a Fleet Lotus Seed amiibo. I think runners use the Twilight Princess Link amiibo. The Zelda amiibo works. The Zelda amiibos work okay as well because they can drop Swift Violets. And then you duplicate them because you're going to be making 2 speed potions, or not potions, speed like food with these ingredients, which are going to be used for now to finish off the Great Sky Island. And then also to later on, I think, towards the final boss fight. But, okay. Yeah, exactly. Throwing the ruby here to kill these constructs. I think... Interesting. He is not picking up the second shield. Usually, at least when I was playing the game, you would want that second shield, which made it so that you had to basically pick up that shield super quickly, otherwise it would burn down from the ruby explosion. But it seems like the second shield is no longer needed, but uses that cooking pot after getting rid of the constructs there, after duplicating the lotus seeds and the rubies. Because rubies are going to be, again, unless I'm wrong, one of the main damage sources for the run in the late game when it comes to the boss fights.
Really good.
And then you do need to get rid of these constructs, because otherwise the game doesn't let you cook. So that's still a mechanic, let him cook. That's only possible when there's no enemies nearby. The game does not let him cook otherwise. But here we are on the Fused Shrine, second shrine. Traditionally the most boring. Actually, there is something I'm really interested about. Because at one point, runners decided to not pick up a bow anymore. And instead exclusively throw materials at the enemies in the late game. I don't know if the bow is in the run now or not.
Well,
if the bow is in the run,
absolutely
I think we can look forward to a pretty cool strat, at least one pretty cool strat, here in the Fused Shrine that I'm interested in. So let's see how this goes. Talking to Raru again, explaining how Fuse works.
Ban series.
Picking up the claymore right here. I believe the claymore will be used to break this wall coming up. Also, you can only actually break that flame emitter from the shield or unfuse it when you get the fuse ability. It was basically stuck on the shield previously. Now he's going to be duplicating some bomb flowers for mainly for movement, I believe. Again, unless things have changed. And he will pick up the bow. Okay, so old wooden bow is picked up. And I believe he's going to be trying to aim it towards this chest. Right, and with the right aim, you can see it here beautifully. The chest will actually fly all the way towards the...
perfect one.
He got a perfect one indeed.
This is shocking.
All the way towards where he needs to go anyway. So he can basically save that trip towards the wall, waiting for the chest to fall down and, like, you know, essentially make it so that... Interesting line here, using a bomb jump right here. What? Wait. I'm kind of confused. Oh, he has speed pool already, right? Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I'm kind of confused why he got such a far jump, but one thing that I keep explaining to people all the time, also just in general, is that when you run jump off ledges, or even just run off ledges in this game, compared to Breath of the Wild, you will keep much more speed. This is just how the game works. Like, if you jump from a moving raft, a flying wing, the game intentionally works in a way that it lets you keep some of that momentum. Oh, nice, getting a fuse gold right there. You can't actually see it because I'm covering it with my camera, but that's why speed food feels faster in this game compared to Breath of the Wild. At first, when I was playing the game, I was like, wait, did they buff it? Like, do you actually run faster? No, but being able to basically keep momentum off ledges makes it feel faster. So right here, interesting to see what movement he's going for here. Is he going for the limb cube movement or for the going under movement? Oh, this actually might be... Oh no, I'm not sure. What is he gonna do? I think he's going under. Unless... I will explain this in a second. I'm just... Oh, this is looking like the limb cube movement. Unless there's new movement. Okay, so there's another strat that I actually posted again, where you go up to the right side here. Oh, the limb cube movement. Beautiful, very proud of Player 5. This is actually a nice ego boost to see that basically the entire route from Ascent to this point so far is my movement. That's really cool. So what you do here is essentially you do bomb jumps from wing to wing. This allows you to completely skip the ascension up to the Ultra Hand Shrine. This is very cool to see. Gonna be doing one more bomb jump up here right now. And he doesn't use any more bombs from here now, though. So this is interesting to me. Because usually in the movement that I used to do... Okay, so he fuses a wing to the shield there at the end, which is very nice. Could have been better. Apparently, I thought it was pretty cool, Player 5. I mean, using the limb cube move. By the way, please don't call it limb cube movement. I did actually find this movement, but I mean, I was just like, you know, just cooking. Just call it the normal movement until there's something faster. But fusing a wing to the shield, definitely a proven strategy for the Ultra Shrine itself. But it's interesting because I used to use a bomb jump at the end of this shrine and also a little bit at the late game. So I wonder if anything else has changed there, like in the late game. Because I guess what makes sense is, right, like every time you use a bomb jump, that would also mean you have to duplicate bombs. So at some point it might not be worth it, but it's really interesting. Because there's actually a lot of bomb jumps that I can think of that would still save a lot of time. So I don't know if there's going to be a new alternative or what. We'll see. So now jump, shield, jump over there with the wing shield makes this movement very clean. And the best part is this last part, where you can essentially just jump and then shield jump up onto the rail to then shield surf to the end of the shrine. Probably actually slightly less flashy than the bomb jump at the end, but it's consistent, it's smooth, it's fast. And now this next part is what I'm interested in. Because from here I would use, personally what I would have done here is I would have used a, not in the shrine, but after the shrine, I would have used another one of those running onto a wing strategies, right? And then from that wing, I would do a bomb shield jump up to the Temple of Time. But maybe there's something else. Maybe he's just going to play it basic and do a run onto a wing and then fly the wing like close to the door. I'm interested. Let's see. Okay, running, spawning the wing. It seems like that's what he's going to do. He gets a stamina glitch there. You could kind of see the stamina glitching out. It was like all the way into the red. And then is he going to get the shield from this construct here? I'm assuming no. Okay, so that's actually still very clean. I don't think it's as fast as the bomb jump over there, but I could be wrong. It might, again, not just be... It might just not be worth it to duplicate more bombs. That's probably what it is. Like, maybe the bomb jumps overall save like 4 seconds, but duplicating bombs again loses 5 or like 3.5, so it's like barely worth it and the bomb jumps are harder. I'm assuming it's going to be something like that. Now, what I'm expecting to see here is, instead, because this is another section where I would be doing a bomb jump, I'm expecting to see the shield with the wing used instead, which is probably around the same speed. I don't know, I feel like it's probably slightly slower. There used to be this very cool bomb shield jump here, where you fly all the way to the door. Also, granted that this is such a reset-heavy, difficult run already, that I can simply see it being a fact of just like, I'm not gonna add every like 2-second time save, because one thing that we haven't even gotten to yet is the late game. When I was running this game myself, I would kind of like go to like an island where you could pick up some early game ferries to be more safe before reaching the final boss, which is... I have no idea what people use for the final boss strat at this point, by the way. The final boss strat is probably the strat that has changed the most. I have contributed a fair amount to it. But ZFG is the real MVP. Where ZFG is super popular Zelda speedrunner when it comes... you guys probably know him if you know Zelda speedrunning. If not, what are you doing? Extremely popular OOT runner and just Zelda legend. And he's actually been really interested in this game, and he has been cooking quite hard. Especially when it comes to the final boss fight of the game. But we'll get there. We're not there yet. We're just interacting with this door. Now, this might be interesting to some of you, but you actually do need to interact with this final door right here in order to... even activate the recall shrine. If you, I think I can turn this up a little bit now. If you don't interact with this door, the recall shrine never becomes like accessible. You just can't go in there. And then additionally, obviously, there's no real sequence breaks here. This is something we can also briefly talk about. This is actually really funny that you can still see that hand symbol right here because you've never even activated those initial gears. Jumping over here and then ascending, so this is another sequence where I would instead use a bomb jump. This is a bomb jump that I would see saving quite a bit of time, but maybe not. I'm assuming people have done more timings now, and these bomb jumps might be just like too fancy, and it might just be better to just run around. Very interesting though. Now, running into the recall shrine, gonna be testing out this
what's up, glitch?
Movement here without bombs as well. Now I am a little bit confused because I have heard at least, and maybe some of you guys know more than me, because I'm literally, I'm not, oh wow, okay, you can make it to that raft from super far away with the shield jump there. That's really nice. Going through the shrine really early now. I have no idea what, okay, using the momentum of the raft to jump over there, that looks really cool. And actually using Ultra Hand here, after all, you're so fast now that this ends up being quicker. Very impressed. It was an extremely fast recoil shrine. I have not seen that before. Previously, using Ultra Hand there wasn't worth it because the two hands were actually almost too close together already. But now that he's going so fast, which is very impressive, haven't seen that before. It ends up being worth it.
Thank you for the
very cool recoil shrine. Now, another thing I'm interested in here is if he's going to be teleporting right away. It looks like he won't. Okay, so this is also something that I found. For some reason, when you run outside here to the Great Sky Island, where you see the Great Sky Island text again, this load here is faster. I think it's because you can see the Zelda logo showed up immediately. If you warp from the interior there, for some reason the load is like 7 seconds longer. So even though it looks weird for him to just run outside there and then teleport, it ends up saving time overall. Also, this is becoming weird. It's almost like a flex, like, oh wow, look at all of these cool things I found. This is not what I expected. I didn't expect the Great Plateau route itself to be dissimilar, and the entire reason I'm saying this is because I have seen this new weird, like, jump slash tech. No idea if that's gonna find its way into the any % speedrun here soon. If some of you in the comments know what I'm talking about, because I don't, I've just seen people do like a charged attack when they have no stamina, and then suddenly they're like flying around. I think it's like an arrow smuggle glitch or something. They're flying around by pulling out their bow, and it looks really strange, and I don't know if that's gonna make its way into any %, like maybe runners are currently already using this sort of stuff. But I'm interested to see if that's gonna make its way into any %, maybe not yet. If some of you know more about what I'm talking about, I would be cool if you let me know. I'm also gonna catch up on the Discord myself, the speedrunning Discord, to learn about these things. But here we are. This is basically the Great Sky Island, a 30-minute Great Sky Island. That is ridiculous. Like, I was very happy with 33-minute Great Sky Island.
30 GSI and any run will ever happen.
And like people that would get a 32 would be like the gods. When I was running like a month ago. So despite the movement being relatively similar, like the clips, the faster recall shrine, that's actually very impressive. And using a wing here, oh, okay, that's really cool. Using a running wing into a shield jump there. To kind of bridge that gap. Now, 30-40. That is ridiculous. I'm assuming the Great Sky Island is going to be able to reach under 30 minutes now at this rate, which is... Man, that is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so what's going on? So, shield jump onto the wing. This is a fairly standard procedure. Not setting up... Okay, wait, okay. So a lot of things have already changed. Obviously... So going, wait, this is obviously not the auto-build route, right? So he's going straight to Hyrule Castle, he's duplicating rubies. From here on out, I'm like not sure what the hell is going on. I know that there's like new clip methods, I don't know how they're gonna be used, I haven't seen any of this part. This is gonna be all new for me. So he's jumping onto a wing, duplicating those rubies on the wing, which is relatively efficient, right? Because you're already moving forward, so whenever you pick up those rubies, you're not really wasting time. Compared to when you just stand out in the open and duplicating them. When you pick them up, like the shield jump, like the menuing still loses time, but the shield jump and the picking up of the rubies is more efficient because you're already moving forward anyway. So this is one of the most efficient ways to duplicate those rubies. Basically only losing time due to the slight like wobbling of the wing. Okay, I guess he's gonna land down there. And the menuing itself. So this is already pretty interesting. And the wing should time out soon. So so he is jumping down here. And I'm assuming this is going to be using this new infinite height clip method. I have no idea where people are doing it now. It's looking like maybe they did actually end up finding a well. Yeah, okay. So this is something I knew people were looking into, performing a fall damage cancel there. I made a video about how to perform this trick on my second channel in Q+, which is, I'm not gonna lie, pretty dead right now because I've been kind of... What? So is this the same clip that... No. So this is the infinite height clip, but it's interesting. The mechanics seem similar to the intro, so he's... Okay. So he's going into the well, clipping through the ceiling, swimming in that water, and then going to be diving down. And this is the crazy part. This is so fast now. What the hell? And this actually looks less hard than I thought. Well, maybe it is actually a lot harder because people in chat are popping off right now saying, oh my god, clean. Good luck. So this might actually be a lot harder than it looked. I do need to try this on myself. I'm going to be improving my 80% time myself. So this is crazy because this means there is only 2 fall damage cancels in the whole run. Only the first one. And then the second one right here, because he's gonna... Oh, wait, actually... No, wait, how is he gonna clip into the boss fights now? I was gonna say maybe... Okay, I guess there's 3 fall damage cancels, because he has the fall damage cancel now. Or is it... No, he can't go for the ragdoll clip. He has the fall damage cancel now. Okay, so he's fall damage canceling again. No, wait, that's genius. So he fall damage cancelled intentionally early. Look at the smile, the smug little speedrunner man. So he fall damage cancelled early to then intentionally ragdoll on that slope. The ragdoll clip is, by the way, something that I found. Well, actually, not in general, but the spot for the ragdoll clip. Just saying. Now, this is so fast. So he basically intentionally ragdolled to clip into the boss arena. So what he's doing here, he's animation cancelling his throw by using the recall rune. This looks extremely fast. So he's essentially throwing these rubies, then activating recall to cancel kind of like the end lag. If some of you maybe played Smash, this might be a familiar term, of those throws. Immediately then eating another speed elixir to run all the way up to this black boss bokoblin horn, which I believe will still be an ingredient. Not an ingredient, sorry. It will be a fuse material for the weapon to defeat Ganondorf, I'm assuming. When I was running, we would pick up a Royal Halberd here in the Lizalfos fight. With Recall, I'm actually surprised that Recall is good for this animation cancel. I would expect, because I know this is also possible with Ascent, because Recall slows down time, right? Like, Recall pauses time briefly, but maybe that doesn't matter. Oh, he's gonna pick up the... Oh, okay, wait. Was that intentional? No, I don't think so. I think he was trying to pick up the Black Lizalfos horn there for a strat in the final boss fight. Unless I'm wrong. Gibdo phase coming up. He's going to be running all the way over here. He might instead pick up a Moblin horn, which I believe has the same fuse power. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so he does pick up the Black Lizalfos horn here. I need to copy that. I had no idea that it's possible to clear that Gibdo phase that quickly. For some reason, whenever I would try to throw rubies there, it would not end up being efficient. I would usually need like 3 rubies. He's constantly going for these animation cancels. Still has 3 spare rubies and just completely demolished the entire army fight 16.7 seconds ahead. Now, there is one, so ragdoll clip for the second clip, infinite height clip after the well. And now what is going on here? Because there is still 1 clip left, right? To skip those bosses. He's running under here. And for what, you can be there? I am shocked that the game allows you to be there. He's going to be doing infinite height 1, 2, 3, and 4. And okay, a 5th time he has to go for the input. No, a 6th time. Is that going to be enough? A 6th time into a shield jump. Now he's out of bounds, but under the usual corridor. And he uses his scope to kind of align on a specific spot. Then he's going to be doing 1, 2, I'm assuming 3 more infinite high jumps, 4 more infinite high... Oh my god, this looks incredibly difficult. Not looking forward for this part too much. 5? No, he gets stuck under the ceiling. Seems to be some amount of time loss. This seems incredibly annoying to do, especially when you're nervous, especially when this is like the final part of the run, but... Sorry, I'm getting a little bit too excited here. Manages to get back in bounds at the end here. Now, he has picked up 2 Royal Halberds, and he has a Black Boss Boko horn. He's going to be fusing that to it. No, okay, so he's going to be zuggling the spears first, and then fuse the horn to it, which I'm assuming ends up with the same result. Now, in version 1.0, you can perform this glitch called Zuggle, where you basically stack weapons on top of each other. to make a super strong weapon. He's going to be fusing it now. So now he has like a 5 times hitting Royal Halberd with this Black Boss Bokohorn.
I lost like 5 seconds there.
Apparently he lost like 5 seconds there to the infinite height clipping not being as optimal as he wanted it to be, but still very, very impressive. You can see the game is kind of glitched out. Link is holding 2 halberds at the same time, but if he does this correctly, each Flurry Rush will just kill 1 phase of Ganondorf. Look at the damage. Absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't even use any attack up food right now. Now, phase 2 is usually the most scary because it's a little bit RNG dependent. We'll see what attack Ganondorf gives him here. He goes for the sword, very nice quick sword attack. Sometimes he goes for some like charge attack with the club, which can be relatively annoying to deal with, but player 5 keeps it cool, immediately rushes down Ganondorf there. Now this is a pretty long cutscene here, once again 30 seconds, can't really skip it. Ganondorf is preparing for the final phase, and this is honestly the easiest one, because what you usually do here is you just rush towards Ganondorf, hit him, so that he's forced to Flurry Rush you. And then you can basically skip having to Flurry Rush the first time. You just like make him Flurry Rush you, and then you Flurry Rush his Flurry Rush once. And then that should be the Ganon fight. Now, you would love to say, yes, final boss Ganondorf, done. This is how it would have been in Breath of the Wild. I'm assuming he's gonna get the Flurry Rush here. Very nice. It's actually probably one of the easier parts of the run, no joke, like Ganondorf, the fight itself. However, and I can't wait to see this, in Breath of the Wild, you can see, I feel like you can see it on his face. He knows it's getting difficult now, and you see some prayers in the chat there, because this is arguably, I mean, I would say this is the hardest part of the run. What's coming up now, which is like ridiculous compared to Breath of the Wild, where after Calamity Ganon, the run is over. Yes, this load, by the way, is like ridiculously long. It takes like 40 seconds or something to go through this load screen.
Go for the thing.
See, people in chat are saying, what is this loading? It is what it is. That's just how it always goes. Losing 6 seconds there to those the clip, but still very strong 10 seconds ahead right now. Yes, Link is currently kind of glitched out. The spear is still kind of stuck to his hand, which is why Link is pulling the Master Spear here and not the Master Sword. Now, again, credit and also a little bit of blame to ZFG here for making this part one of the most ridiculous in the run. I don't know how much of ZFG's with ridiculous Demon Dragon strats have made it into the run at this point, but I'm excited to see it because this fight is yeah. Let's just check it out. Anyway, getting the Master Spear here, I think this is actually ridiculously fitting for this game, at least from a casual perspective, with how strong those spears can be.
A little crazy. Thanks for the good luck.
And let's see. 10 seconds ahead. Looks like he has 8 seconds of time loss. Sorry, time save potentially in this final split. I know there is another strat at the very end of the fight where you can do like a very specific backflip on the final hit to save some time. Let's see how it goes. So, okay, he's turning his camera, which is making me think that he's going to be jumping off the dragon immediately. Yep, and going to be steering towards the dragon here. This allows you to kind of reach the first eye. Is he going to be landing on a wing? No. Okay, so he's literally just going all the way to... Oh god. Okay, so he's going all the way to the first eye. He's dropping the spear because otherwise it would cause inconsistent damage. He might... Okay, not doing it here. Going for 4 hits on the eye. I was going to say he might actually fuse. Okay, flying up, dropping a wing mid-air, and I'm assuming he's going to be placing down the Black Lizalfos horn here to the Master Sword, which is going to make it so that he can, I think, either I think 2-shot these eyes. And keep in mind, he's doing this all without the paraglider. Okay, 3 hits is what he needs. Okay, intentionally jumping down after the second hit. So he got the first eye and the second eye basically both during a single cycle of Demon Dragon's attack. Usually the game does not let you do this. And then additionally, you don't have the paraglider here. This is how ridiculous this is. Then he's jumping off Zelda again, immediately diving down straight to eye number 3. Again, only 3 hits needed because of the extra fuse. Getting the perfect angle again. They're landing on the wing once again. Dude. Okay. I mean, yeah. doing this in a run on good pace is absolutely ridiculous. He needs to reach this eye just in time, but I think he is pretty safe. These wings don't seem to be going really fast, but he gets it. That's the 4th eye, and all that's left now is the final hit on Ganondorf, the secret stone itself. He's gonna be stalling in the air here a little bit. I think he's intentionally centering Link in a way that's... Unless... Wait, what's going on? Is he just gonna stall all the way? No, okay, so he's getting on Zelda's head, and then he's gonna jump up basically like immediately again? I'm assuming... Oh, because Ganondorf is kind of bugged out. He's currently in his attack mode. Oh no, he is gonna be ending it early. Wow. Okay, that's ridiculous. So he was stalling in the air for Zelda to pick him up into a perfect position. Now I think the only thing that's possibly left is for him to do a backflip at the last hit here. Oh, okay. Jumping backwards. And then using a Master Sword beam. You can see he gets a quick load here immediately. That's the difference. If you stand on Ganondorf's head, there, for some reason, you get a longer load between the final hit and this little cutscene where technically the final hit takes place. But GG's. Wow. Incredible. You can really not see many mistakes in this run. Like, what the hell? Is this game already maxed out? Is this game already optimized?
I think that's when Zelda picks you up.
Jesus. Player 5 does it again.
And so I can definitely afford to be picked up by Zelda a little sooner because...
Still optimizing. This is the classic. The absolute classic speedrunner stuff. Just gets world record. Is like, okay, I can still optimize how I can like land on Zelda and maybe like save around like 3.5 seconds on the infinite high clip after like getting a world record and a perfectly optimal run. If you've ever speedrun yourself, this will be you. This is just normal. You're never satisfied. Always hungry. But player 5, incredible performance. The run ends when you touch Zelda's hand here. Very good ending.
I was definitely considering not doing it, but then...
he's still optimizing. I'm pretty sure Player 5 is currently actually running on the current version of the game, which is quite a different speedrun. So once again, check out Player 5's stream if you want to probably see the next world record. GG's, 44.
Not just the menuing. It was like the menuing plus the...
33. Player 5 still contemplating the run as he's getting the world record. Everyone is popping off, saying GG.
Didn't lose me time.
Player 5 analyzing future time saves. What a legend. But yeah, quite interesting. So the entire late game is basically different. All of the clips are different. The fighting, I mean, there's not much fighting. There's like new animation cancelled. We pick up the bow again. Obviously, huge change in the early game with that intro skip. A lot of my movements still in the run. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be relearning the run. My hand does feel better now, so check out my stream as well. But first of all, follow Player 5 on Twitch if you want to see some world records. Thank you for checking out the run with me. I hope you liked it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.